I'm 49 years old now, and a little over 15 years I struggled with alcoholism. Just 2.5 years ago, I managed to quit when I was between 46 and 47. And this happened because I realized or discovered something that I wanted more. And I never thought that that would be possible, given how powerful that hunger and urge is to drink when you are an alcoholic. But that one positive thing that pulled me out of this hole of addiction was starting and working on a creative project. This video is for all ages. I mean, not all ages, but for anyone who struggles with alcohol addiction. I am in my midlife, and so I'll be speaking more specifically to those in my age group, namely people who are 40 and over. And when you reach this age group or this age, you realize that you have these habits and routines, many of which I think can be very good. Some can turn into addictions, unfortunately. So this idea of a creative project or having a healthy thirst for working on a creative project, replacing your negative hunger for alcohol, is basically, or is just one out of many of the different ways that I pulled my life together. Some of those other habits and routines included journaling, meditation, better sleep, better diet. All of these things came together. But again, working on a creative project for me was probably one of the main details, one of those top things on my list that produced the most difference, or that produced the most change. I think it's important that I communicate my drinking routine when it was at its worst, because I think many of you would be able to relate. My urges to drink started gradually getting stronger and stronger as the evening and night wore on, and I would start drinking at around 10. And this is 7 days a week, okay? I would go through probably 1.5 bottles of wine, usually, sometimes up to 2, in about an hour and a half, and supplement my drinking with THC gummies, which are essentially cannabis oil in the form of a candy gummy. And that would be 10 to 20 milligrams, depending on the night. And finally, to top it all off, to be scrolling on YouTube. And these are 3 addictions that essentially were feeding off of each other and creating a monster. The story now, though, today, it's very different, and I'm really happy and proud to say that. I drink one night a week, Friday or Saturday night, and it's just with my meal. I'll have one or two drinks, 1 or 2 glasses of wine. The question is, instead of asking a question, I just wanted to say again that I believe that a positive and healthy thirst for something can be stronger than that pull of an unhealthy addiction to alcohol. And that's kind of the thesis of this video. There were 3 aspects to my creative project that were very important in fueling me and inspiring me to continue working on it and finish to get it done as soon as I was able to get it done. Namely, the first 2 aspects are interrelated: to share the project publicly. That's number 1. Number 2 is to provide value and meaning to others. Number 3, to make it marketable. Now, when I say marketable, I'm not speaking of earning money as the main goal, but to make something where someone can benefit enough from it to support it financially. And so it's more about this idea of building something that has real world value, that can potentially support me and my family. And I think for many of us, this is important, money as a means to improve one's life, the life of one's family, and to kind of constantly improve, to constantly grow and hopefully, one day achieve financial independence, I think which is what many of us desire, right? Again, not for the sake of kind of a materialistic end, but as kind of an offshoot of providing so much value. If you don't know what you could do for a creative project, we can definitely get into that in another video. I have some advice in terms of making that more concrete for you. What are some examples of creative projects? Well, there are endless possibilities, right? I have a neighbor here who's a really great gardener, and she has a banana tree and all different kinds of produce she's growing out of raised beds. And why not start a photo journal that you can put on Instagram or any kind of social media platform? You can add some text to kind of flesh out what's going on with your garden on a daily or a weekly basis. What else? You can do drawings like I've done, daily drawings. You can do journal entries, which you transform into video logs or audio-video podcasts. If you like writing along those lines, how about some short stories that you can post on other platforms like Substack, which is a writer's social platform? What about creating a podcast of learning a new skill, right? Audio-video podcast. Maybe you're 45 and you want to learn guitar, or you used to play guitar in high school with a rock band and you want to get the rock band back together. You can start a website. How about a YouTube channel? There's so many different possibilities. So this is the day after, and I totally forgot to include my creative project, or showing you guys my creative project. And this is it right here. It's my book entitled Squiggle Art Journey Volume 1, Man vs. AI. That's me, Se-Jin Kim. And it's basically a compilation of my daily drawing practice. Sorry, there's some glue up here. But yeah, it's showing my daily drawing practice spanning 1 year. So there are 365 of my drawings paired with, sorry, there's a bit of a glare. It's paired with AI interpretations of my drawings, or AI interpretations of the kind of the base or the root of the drawing, which is a squiggly line. And you can see my artwork my drawings are abstract in style with some representational elements. Sorry for the glare, but kind of gives you an idea. I decided to include that AI element for interest's sake. And that's that. Each drawing has a title with the date of the drawings up here. And that's about it. This was the creative project that pulled me out of the depths of alcoholism, and it's great to be able to see and feel this. It's very symbolic. And having said that, your creative project does not have to be a physical object. It works just as well if you create a digital product, okay? So that's about it. I just wanted to show you the book. It's available on Amazon, and I do have links to it in the description. So if you're interested, please check it out. I want to talk about the shift that occurred for me. And it was sort of at the point where I found myself drinking, instead of 7 days, maybe 3 days or 2 to 3 days. That was a significant change. And I found myself able to do that because I would force myself to go to bed early so I could wake up in order to work on that, in order to have that 1 or 1.5 hours of time to work on the creative project, before my son and wife woke up, and we had to kind of go through the routine of, getting people off to work and off to school. So there was a realization that I needed to make the most of my time in order to realize my goals, because my time was limited. And time, I think, is in the end the most valuable resource. So that was an important realization. In general, this is not a full solution. It might not be for everybody, but I think it's a good starting place if you don't know what to do in the midst of your alcoholism. It is a way that you can reconnect with your true self, I believe. It's a way to reconnect with your passion and your creativity. I want to say that you all out there who are 40 years old and older have great experience. You have great insight and a lot of valuable things to share. And so never discount that. In closing, if you're interested, I'd love to do another video going into more detail about some of the other routines that enabled me to move my life forward in a healthy direction. Or if you don't know how to find your creative project, ways in which you can do that and to help you do that. So I really thank you. This was another important topic close to my heart. And I'm really looking forward to seeing comments. If you guys have your own stories about recovery, if you're in the midst of it right now in terms of your addiction, your alcoholism, please leave a comment below and subscribe. So I look forward to our next video. Take care.